Well, hello and welcome to this Periscope, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Sunday. Again, living happy from Denver, Colorado, and excited for you to be on this Periscope with us today as we are going to go over some of the tips, the functions, and the reasons why we Periscope, how you set up your account, how you find other people to follow and connect with. Pretty much everything in a nutshell in about 20 to 25 minutes, guys and gals. And so that's what we are going to be covering here today. We're going to show you a live broadcast onto my iPhone of how you do all these functions. And so for those of you who are new to Periscope and you think you have friends and family that have that will receive value from today's training, definitely swipe right if you're on an iOS and hit the share button with your Twitter friends or your followers, or if you're on an Android, it's swiping up and hitting share, okay? And so this 20-minute Periscope, guys and gals, is really based on how you can go out there and connect with other people, build your brand, set up your Periscope, and find more people that are like you, more people that have the same mentality, the same philosophies. And so before we jump in today, let's welcome a few new people to this Periscope. So what's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Where is everyone Periscoping in from? I am here at home in Denver, Colorado here, so at the loft, and living happy today. So beautiful, beautiful Sunday here. Beautiful day, very hot day here in Denver. What's up, Springfield, Hollywood, Arkansas, Rockford, Kentucky? Hello, hello. Are you in my basement? I don't think so. I hope not. Go check. Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Mesa, Arizona. Hello. Georgia. Wichita, Kansas. Mission Viejo. Hello, hello. Iowa. What's going on? Pittsburgh. Appreciate. Awesome. Good stuff, Brandon. Glad for you to be on here with us. Daytona Beach. Hello. New York. Indiana. Nashville. All right, guys and gals. So again, for those of you who are jumping on with this right now, what we are going to talk about over the next 20 minutes is how you build your brand on Periscope, how you go live, and how you do a live broadcast. A few do's and don'ts about Periscope, and how you can really go out there and connect with other people all across this country and all across this world. Okay, and so for those that you feel may receive value from today's training, it's only going to be up for 24 hours. I know it's a Sunday afternoon, but this is a great day to do this. And so if you want to share by swiping right and hitting share on your Twitter or hitting share on your followers, we are talking about setting up your Periscope here today. And I'm going to show you the live broadcast on my phone. I just did this Periscope a few days ago, but unfortunately it didn't record and it didn't save. Okay, so for those of you who are brand new and have questions on Periscope, you can start putting those questions into your comment bar and comment box, and hopefully I can get to that question either as we go through the process or at the end of the broadcast. And so for those of you who haven't broadcasted yet, as you can see, these comments go very, very quickly, okay? So if I miss your comment, maybe ask a few times over and over again. For those of you who are on here for the very first time, you see a bunch of hearts going on, right? On the right-hand side of the column. What hearts represent, guys and gals, are the likes. So if you're on Facebook, if you're on Instagram, you would be liking things, right? Either with a heart or with a thumbs up. That's what the hearts represent on Periscope here. And so what's neat about the hearts is that they don't really monetize anything, but they do kind of sort you in regards to how you're broadcasting, what your retention is, if you're really adding value to the Periscope community. And so the hearts are important. And so how you give hearts for you brand new people is by simply double tapping the screen as many times as you want or wish to, and you will see your hearts. Okay, so Shepherd Gintz has a little kind of a pink, hopefully I said your name right. She has a little pink filter over her screen. New Mutiny has a little yellow filter over his screen. Diana Foyer has a little pink screen. Britta Rowe, the pound sign, she has some pink. Amy Stock 1016 has some orange. Okay, and so what those filters mean, what those colors mean, guys and gals, is that what color your heart will be. Okay, Panda Smith is pink. Janet Murad is pink. Tiffany Ura is going to be red. Mama Roxy 70 is going to be yellow. Okay, so that's how you can see that your hearts are showing up on the screen. Your heart as well will be bigger when it hits the screen originally, okay? So that's how you can tell if those are your hearts versus somebody else's, okay? So that's our first tip of the day, is how you give hearts, how you share hearts. And it really is something that's just adding value to the speaker, making sure that you're with us, making sure that you're engaged in this conversation. And so let me first start off by sharing kind of what Periscope is. You see, I found Periscope originally back in June of this summer. I originally heard about it around April or May when the Sean Money Mayweather fight was broadcasted. The Pacquiao-Mayweather fight was illegally broadcasted and scoped. Okay, that's how I first heard about Periscope, and that's when the company was probably, a month or two old. Okay? Awesome. I'm glad I pronounced your name right. It's tough when it goes so quickly, so just a kind of a tip there. But Periscope was really discovered, guys and gals, by the founders and the visionaries to literally be as close to teleportation as you can think of. Okay, and so, if you're on Periscope, you can broadcast and see someone that's broadcasting from the cliffs of Maui, or Hawaii, to a sunset in Paris, France, to a beautiful beach in Ibiza, Spain, to the greenery and the cliffs and the rocks of Ireland, to Chicago downtown, whatever it is. That's what Periscope was originally designed for. So you could see other people live stream very quickly and for free. And so this technology, guys and gals, is not new. There's a few other applications out there, but I believe Periscope is going to be very successful because who their founders are and who their owners are, which is Twitter. Okay, so it's very well funded. It has everything here for you to go out there and add value to other people and also learn from other people. And so one of the things that I love about Periscope is this right here. All of the ways that you can communicate with other people and they can communicate back to you live time. You see, you will see people asking questions, shouting out where they're from, giving tips, giving feedback, participating. You see, what I love about Periscope, guys and gals, is that this is not like the traditional schoolroom or a traditional educational room where you just kind of had to sit there and take notes or just kind of watch. This is something that you can participate with fully. And so what I love about Periscope right now is not only can we broadcast and see other people from all across the country, all across the world, but we can touch base with them quickly. We can get in front of other people that we may not have ever been able to get in front of because of this. And so if you're technically challenged, we're going to walk you through how we do this in the next few moments. I'm just kind of setting up why Periscope is so efficient and effective. Another reason I see Periscope being amazing is because it allows us to associate with more people. You see, you can follow people on here like John C. Maxwell, leadership gurus, Richard Branson, Darren Hardy, people of that sort, people of that nature, Brian Tracy, Bob Proctor. There's a lot of people on Periscope that we can touch base with. Okay, and so we can pick up a few pieces of information. We can pick up a few nuggets from what they're giving us every single day, which will add value to our life so we can have a better life. Did you memorize what you were going to say? Not really. It's all in my head. I do have a little sheet here, just a little cheat sheet, for you all, so I can kind of stay on track. Okay, but other than that, I'm just kind of just talking off of experience. And so, I have done now over 45 or 46 broadcasts. I've only had to block 5 people, and so that's our next topic here, is what that means, how we block somebody. And I'll show you that again on this next piece of this information. But basically, you don't necessarily want to block a lot of people unless they're kind of getting vulgar. Okay, so for our ladies here on this Periscope, you are going to receive a lot more issues than I probably ever will. Okay, I've done 45 plus broadcasts and I've only had to block 5 people. Okay, so very few people out there are going to say vulgar things to me, I feel. Also, I don't think I attract a lot of that stuff as well. But just so you know, ladies, you may get approached. You're on the internet, right? So there's going to be people that are asking you things, okay? And so just suck it up. Know that it's going to happen, and if it gets vulgar, you can simply block them, okay? And so we'll show you how to do that. In my business, being in direct sales, network marketing, relationship marketing, we have a lot of people that sometimes come on into the Periscope that maybe didn't have success. Maybe they didn't get started quickly. Maybe they didn't even open their box. And so they may have comments or two about our business model. And generally, I just take that. I'll address it if I can. I'll address it if I have time. I'll address it if they're respectful. Okay, I don't usually block people like that. I usually address it. Okay, so that's kind of how we roll. That's kind of how we do it. But let's jump into now how you set up your Periscope, how you set up your profile, how you find people, how you broadcast, all of that, okay? So what we're going to do is I'm going to use my, sorry, that was a little close for you all. Sorry about that. I'm going to use my iPhone here. So let's see. We're going to turn the screen, okay? Here we go. Bye, y'all. Okay, so now you can see my iPhone here. So that is the icon that we chose here today. And the first thing that you... Do I have something? Okay, thank you for that, Brad. I appreciate that. I'll try to work on that as we are scoping here today. Thanks for the hearts, guys and gals. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So what you want to do when you go into your first Periscope is you got to find Periscope, right? So where is my Periscope? Now you guys are texting in. Hold on. Where's it at? Where's it at? Okay, Periscope, bam. Okay, guys and gals, so this is another, all right, thanks, Brad, I appreciate it. So this is another one of my accounts. I haven't really used it. I've only used it just for this purpose right here, right now. But this is what your profile will look like, right? So when you first go to your Periscope, you click on it and it pulls up. Okay, so how do you, the first thing, how do you add a photo to your Periscope? I know a lot of people don't know how to do this, okay? So we're just going to do it very quickly. You hit edit, you click on that, and it'll allow you to pick up a photo, okay? Take a photo, choose a photo, whatever it is. Okay, then down here is where you want to add kind of your About You section. Okay, this is kind of your I am statement. I wouldn't put in here, in the past, I was in the restaurant industry, I was in the franchising industry, I was in restaurant development. Okay, and so I wouldn't put in here, a franchise developer unless that's what I did and that's what my passion was. I put in here more things of an I am statement. So I am a loving, caring, sharing a mother of 3 kids, building a business from home. I am a husband, a father, and a brother, building his business one day at a time. Whatever you are, you're putting that stuff in here. You may want to hashtag, no, this is an example. You may want to hashtag a few of your hot topics, your bullet points, what you're going to talk about. On my broadcast, I generally talk about network marketing, leadership, mentorship, inspiration, technique, how to go out there and build your business. Okay, it's generally a very general or generic broadcast. It's not necessarily on my specific company, nor does it ever need to be. It just needs to be generic and specific so we can get a bigger brand, okay, get a bigger reach. Okay, so that's how you edit your profile, okay, very simple. Okay, so this is what we want to do next, okay, let's talk about some of these down here at the bottom, okay. These are your basically your keys to allow you to go around Periscope. Okay, so this first one allows you to start searching. Okay, so when you click on this little top thing, these 3 little people, you're basically going to hit that. Okay, now if you click on this little top bar, top left, you have a little search option, right? A little microscope or whatever that's called. So you click on that, right? And basically you can type in search people. So if you wanted to search someone, let's say you wanted to search for a top leader in our company, Brittany Burtz. You would just type in her name, Brittany Burtz, and it will pull up people, okay? So bam, she's right there, okay? She has 900, okay, so if we click on her, it pulls up her profile. Okay, it pulls up her About Me section. She's a 1-star national marketing director, NLP, which is neuro-linguistic programming, artist, entrepreneur, health, anti-aging, beauty, a channeler of love and light. Okay, wow, she sounds like someone I'd want to follow. And so I would click follow. If I wasn't following her right now, I would just click follow, bam. And guys and gals, this is a new feature that Periscope has. It's a notification feature, okay? So if I turn this on, if I turn this off, I will not get notified, okay? My phone will not be blowing up with her notifications when she goes live, okay? If I do want to follow her, which I do because she has tremendous content, I just turn that off and I can follow. Okay, another thing on here, guys and gals, is that on the left here, it says recent. That would show, I love Brittany too, that would show her recent broadcasts, okay? I know she did a broadcast, or I know she was all over Periscope yesterday, maybe not her personal one, but she was being broadcasted on. So that's how that works, okay? Followers, you can see who Brittany is following. So if I'm following somebody else, let's say I'm following Bob Proctor, Richard Branson, Eric Worre, someone like that, I may click on their follow button to see who they're following, to see who they're working with, to see, who else is following them, because generally it's going to be the same amount of, that's going to be the same network that I want to develop anyway. Okay, does that make sense? So you want to click on their followers. You also want to click on who they're following. Okay, and so this is how you can find people. Oh, wow, Tony Robbins. Okay, bam, follow him. Oh, Miriam, yep. Okay, follow that. Yep, that. Mark Smith, yep, follow that. Dennis Windsor, follow that. Damon Work, oh, for sure. And you keep going down the list. Casey Mugar, absolutely. Desiree Amato, Dale Munger, for sure. Pooya Gandhi and Live Happy. Darren Hardy, oh, absolutely. So you're just going to start following people like this, okay? So that's kind of how you can hack and tap into other people here. Okay, so that's how you follow. That's how you search. Let's say you don't know someone's name per se. Let's say you're just trying to find people. Let's say you're trying to find leaders. Let's say you're trying to find people in network marketing or in entrepreneurship. You can do a hashtag. Okay, hashtag. Does that type in hashtag? Bam. Let's type in leadership. Okay, so leadership, and leadership stuff will pull up. Okay, that's what hashtags are about. Okay, that's how those work. So sorry, it's kind of hard to pull these up and type. Okay, so hashtag, right? So now we're looking at this. So and that's where it pulls people up. So if I like someone in here, that's how I can follow them. That's how I can discover them. Leadership Institute, William J., that may or may not be verified, that may or may not really be him. Okay, but that's kind of how you look things up. Okay, so that's how you're going to find your leaders. I believe that the more followers that you have, the more that you're going to get noticed. Okay, and so if you look at my personal account, let's go to it right now, you're going to see I follow a lot of people. You see, I'm trying to learn from other people too. That's what I think Periscope really allows us to do, is to be able to look and find other people. Okay, so when I'm looking at my account, I'm following over 1,200 people. Okay, so who am I following? I'm following a lot of different kinds of people. Victor Paularamas, great guy. You find a lot of people on here. Dale Carnegie, so many people on here that you can follow and learn from on a daily basis. What I see Periscope as, guys and gals, is you get to take someone with you. Maybe you can't have Mark Smith in your marketplace, or he's never been to your marketplace, or maybe it's, not in the future to come. But if he's on Periscope, you can follow him every single day. You see, this is a built-in tool for you to get inspiration, leadership, dedication, all of that stuff. Okay, so that's how this works. That's how you find people. Okay, so now what's next? This next button down here, the broadcast button, or this little TV, shows you everyone that's live right now. So you can see people are live right now. You can go into my broadcast, okay, and see that we're live. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, if you go to the map view, this is really cool. This just happened for Android and Periscope. But basically, you can see everyone that's live, whether you're following them or not. Okay, this is how I found a lot of people that I follow in other opportunities, other industries, other companies that I'm learning from and listening to, is just by looking at this stuff. Okay, so this is how you can do it. Here's another really cool feature, guys and gals. This one's awesome. You click on Map, and you can pull up people all across this country. If you're building in Toronto, if you're building in Canada, you can find people that are in Canada. If you're building in Mexico, you can find people that are broadcasting right now in Mexico and jump into their chat. Okay, you can find people in Korea, Japan, Europe, all over the place. Okay, so let's click on, let's jump out to Spain really quick. Okay, you click on that little guy, and it pulls up this dude, Nuna, talking about whatever it is. Okay, so great way to connect. Okay, so that's how that works. Now, how do you broadcast? That's our next topic here. This is a big concern for everybody, and so let me just before we jump into the broadcast, really quick. Okay, and so every single time we start something new for the very first time, every single time we start a new skill, or we're doing a new activity, or doing anything of value, we have to go through a learning curve. We have to go through that slight edge process that will allow us to learn, develop, and grow. Okay, so for those of you who are new to Periscope and have not Periscoped yet, that's okay. Just get acclimated with it, but I encourage you to do it. Okay, and so whatever it is that you do, let's say you're a hairstylist, you could be showing, giving someone a new style or a new blowout or a new look. If you're a dentist, you could be showing that. If you're a news anchor, you could be showing behind the scenes before you go live. If you're in the restaurant industry, you could show, I don't know, something. If you were a school teacher, you could show your classroom. If you were whatever it is. Okay, so Periscope. Wherever it is that you live, Periscope a beautiful piece of scenery. Periscope your kids playing. Periscope whatever it is that turns you on, that excites you, that you have a passion for. Okay, so that's really what you want to do. I encourage you to do it. You just got to do it. Legal issues, what to watch out for. I think the only thing you really can't do or not supposed to do is anything that's copywritten. Okay, so my example at the very beginning was the Sean Mayweather fight was Periscoped. Money Mayweather fight was Periscoped. Okay, that was obviously very, very, very illegal to do because they made $120 million on that fight. Okay, and so you probably can't do nudity. I have heard you can do artistic expression, whatever that means, but I haven't really seen anything like that on here, and so you can't really be doing stuff like that. But basically, again, you want to show something beautiful. 2 weeks ago, I was at a concert, a live concert at Red Rocks up here in Denver, Colorado, the most beautiful venue I've ever been to in my life. I Periscoped a few live songs. Okay, I Periscope life activities, things that I'm doing on a daily basis. But generally, when I scope, and the audience that I'm building is generally based on entrepreneurship and network marketing. And so I kind of stay on that guide and not distract people from what other else may be going on in my life. I might show a lifestyle clip, I might show this or that, but generally I'm only using this for training purposes for myself. That's the audience that I am speaking to. But you really just want to go out there and do whatever it is that you see value in. Okay, if you love to cook, show cooking. If you love to bake, show baking. If you love to paint, show painting. You know, if you love to do clay, do that. Whatever it is that turns you on, and just do it, okay? It's worth it. This is a new technology, and this one's not going away. Okay, so we're going to show you now how to live broadcast here, okay? So I'm going to turn it back over. Yes, you can yes, okay, so you can absolutely do private broadcasting, okay? So I'll show you how to do this right now. Okay, so we're going to show live broadcasting. You can either go live to the universe and the world, or you can just do it to a few specific people. I have never done a private broadcast yet. I don't know necessarily the value of what that would be specifically to a small group. Right? Why not just open it up? And that's why I usually talk very generic in regards to business philosophy, business tips. I don't need to talk about my brand or the company that I build in order to attract, again, a great amount of reach. That's what we're doing. How do you ask to follow you? Okay, so that's what we're doing right now, guys and gals. So I'm going to go back to my phone here. Okay, so here's a couple tips, guys and gals. Okay, you can see this. What are you seeing right now? You see there's always two cameras on your phone. There's the one in the front and the one in the back. Again, Periscope was originally designed, you know, for you to be able to see a beautiful sunset, you know, in Berlin, Germany, or a beautiful sunrise, you know, in Hawaii, or, you know, the cliffs of Moher in Ireland, whatever it is, okay? So it's always going to point out first, and so we're going to show you all this. Okay, and so first off, you want to have a really good heading. You want to have a good like tagline, very similar to a magazine or very similar to a newspaper. You want to have something that's pretty catchy. I don't necessarily know what's best. I'm not, you know, skilled at that necessarily. Maybe I'm getting better, maybe I'm not. Okay, but for this one, we're going to just type in testing. Okay, and so we might put in some hashtags, testing Periscope, whatever it is. Okay, you may want to type in some. Emojis. I can't spell because I can't see it properly. Okay, but you're just going to type that in here. Okay, so here's a tip, guys and gals. What your camera is pointing on is what the icon is going to be when you go live. Okay, so here's where you do not want to be, you know, pointing the camera at your foot or your purse or someone's, you know, backside or something weird. Okay, you want to have something really cool in front of the camera to show you that icon. Okay, so right now I'm looking at a firehouse across the street from me, you know, but I could put a journal, I could put a book in front of this, of my scope, and that's what the icon would be when I go live, right? So when you're broadcasting, that's the thumbnail. Yeah, exactly, Deja Ruiz, the thumbnail. Thank you for that. Okay, so that's kind of what that means, right? That's what that's going to be. If you look down here, guys and gals, you see this Twitter icon. You know, that means it's gonna scope right to Twitter. Twitter post is on. Okay, this is showing you your location. Okay, so right now if I have this on, it's showing that I'm in Denver, Colorado. For those of you who are asking about private messaging, it's right here. Okay, only users that follow me can see me. Okay, or everyone can. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the chat feature. Okay, so you can turn off chat, but I wouldn't recommend that, guys and gals. Again, Periscope is brilliant because you can participate with the communicator. You can participate with the scoper. Okay, so that's kind of how that works. Okay, and then this one is the private broadcast. And this is where you would type in who you wish to invite, who you want to invite. Okay, so that's what these little buttons down here mean. Again, just play around with it. Just have fun. You're going to go through a new learning curve. I know it's out of your comfort zone, but you just got to figure it out and do it. Okay, so when you're ready to Periscope, when you're ready to broadcast, you had typed in your heading, you had typed in something cool, you typed in some emojis, you know, let's throw a crown in there. Ooh, cool. Let's throw some hearts and some diamonds in there. Okay, so whatever it is, right? And so again, you probably put something cool in front of that, and you're going to hit start. When you hit start, it goes live. Okay, so right now, this is live. This is my second account. Okay, so this is live, and we are broadcasting. Okay, there's one person that has jumped on here. Okay, he's not going to see a great post today, but that's kind of what he does. Okay, so again, you're still broadcasting from your back screen. Connie Red Wing, you're on the wrong one, honey. You got to go on this one. But I love you. I hope you had a great day yesterday. Okay, so how do you flip the camera around to you? How do you start showing your face? Well, you do this. Can you delete a broadcast if it goes live? Yes, you can. When you stop it, you can delete it, okay? So if you're testing it out, you can delete it. But again, it also deletes after 24 hours. Okay, so how do you flip the camera around to you? You double tap the screen, okay, and there it is. Okay, so you that's weird, huh? Okay, so you double tap the screen and that comes to you. Okay, so down here at the corner, you're seeing 3 live people are watching us. Now, for those of you who are broadcasting for the very first time, Don't focus on that. You can't wait for a bunch of people to come into your broadcast. If you're in the sales business, if you're in network marketing, you don't need to be waiting 2, 3, 4 minutes to start your conference call like back in the day. You got to go live now. Okay, you got to get into it now because people are watching right now. We have 9 people over here, right? And so how do you know who's watching you? You click on it. You can click on who's watching us right now. So here's our statistics. Here's what you can pull up. This is how you block people. Okay, we're going to show all this to you. Okay, so here's our live followers. Okay, if I say, oh, hey, Brianna Oglesby is saying some great content. She's sharing good things with us. I can click on her name, pull her up, and follow her right from there. Okay, does that make sense? So you can follow her. Bam. I don't know Brianna. I don't know what her content is. I may not want to get her notifications. I can turn it off. Okay, so this is how you get access to who is broadcasting. This is how you see who's broadcasting. Guys and gals, on this one, I'm actually on Patty McCracken. So at Patty McCracken, and you can see the real broadcast. This is just a showing and a taping of a broadcast. Okay, so we're just testing right now, but thank you for joining us. Okay, so just getting acclimated, talking to them specifically, right? So here's what we can do. Okay, so we're touching the screen, we're touching hearts, we're flipping the camera around. If you want to flip back to the other side, you just double tap again, and it goes out to that way. Coming back to me this way. Okay, you can see who's joining you. Now, if these people would actually talk to me, so thereof joined, if they start saying hi or hey, where are you scoping in from, guys and gals? Where are you scoping in from here today? I'm from Denver, Colorado, doing a live broadcast as we speak to 100+ people at Patty McCracken. Okay, so if they actually talk to me, which I hope they would, then we can actually show how you can block someone, how you can participate someone, how you can reply with someone. Okay, that's how that works. Okay, so again, you're broadcasting, right? So here's again your statistics. You can see everything. You can see who's following you. You can see who's watching you right now. If you wanted to follow them, you can click follow. Okay, does that make sense? Does that work? Okay, awesome. So how do you stop a broadcast? So bye, guys and gals. Thank you so much for jumping on our live broadcast here. This is just a testing experience as we go through the process, just showing people how we build the business on Periscope. Okay, so there you go. There's one. Thank you, Pampered 3D. If you click on them right now, you can view their profile or you can block them. Okay, that's how you block somebody. That's how you can take out someone if they're saying rude things, if they're saying vulgar things, if they're swearing, if they're cussing. Okay, so that's how that works. Okay, so of course we do not want to block Pampered 3 whatever. Okay, so how do you end the broadcast when you're finished? How do you do this? You're going to pull down on your screen and you're going to hit stop broadcast when you want to stop broadcast. Can we view them? It says more viewers. It just depends. I don't really know how that works specifically. You can't always view everybody. Like as you saw, there was only 3 or 4 people on there. Okay, so I'm not really sure how that works specifically. Okay, so here's how you stop broadcast. You would stop broadcast, and there's about a 5-second delay. And so generally when I stop my broadcast, I usually just smile and wait for 5 seconds, while that is finishing off. This, guys and gals, is your statistics. This is kind of what, who's following you, what's happening, how long people were on. My retention was 11%. I honestly don't know how accurate these numbers really are. And so don't get too tied up into these numbers. Again, people will come and go. It's channel surfing. You're going to have people dialing in from all across this country, all across this world. Awesome, great. Okay, Lauren, I did not know that. So if they're watching from their computer desktop, then you can't see them. Awesome, thank you for that tip. Always great to learn new things here. Okay, and that's again why Periscope is so awesome. You can participate with the speaker almost live time. Okay, so here's how you save your video to camera roll. Now you can also, I'll talk about hearts in a second. You can also save in your settings. This can be automatically saved right to your desktop or right to your phone or right to your tablet or however you're saving it. But this is just another way to save it as well. Bam, so save to camera. Okay, hearts. Hearts are like your likes. Okay, so on Instagram, on Facebook, a lot of things are monetized, not monetized, but basically that's what shows the value. Okay, so the hearts, basically everyone that's tapping on the screen showing hearts, and thank you for all the hearts, guys and gals. Basically, people are happy with my text or my communication or my training here today, so they're just tapping on the screen and adding value. There is a max out in the hearts that you can give. But if you come and go in and out of a broadcast, then you can keep on saving hearts. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to show a live broadcast on here. And then I'm going to talk about how you can hack into someone's broadcast if it says broadcast is too full. Okay, so again, guys and gals, we set up our profile, we put in the I am statement of who we are, we set up our picture, we did a live broadcast, we showed you the headline. You want to make a good headline. You give hearts, so Arbery Girl 3, by tapping the screen with your finger or your thumb. Just try it right now, okay? And the heart that's the biggest, right underneath that 97, 98, that little person, that's going to be your heart. Okay, so Belinda May is a green little egg. Okay, that's her screen. She is probably the green hearts. Okay, Deja Ruiz S is kind of like a light, like a turquoise green. Okay, that's what color his heart would be. Okay, so that's kind of what those hearts represent. Thank you for the hearts, guys and gals. So let's watch some other people live. Okay, let's jump into something. Okay, so this guy, I know the secret to happiness. Nice. I don't know who Ken Walls is, but I'm listening to his stuff. I may like his stuff.
I appreciate you guys being here.
Oh, I'm excited to be here with you, Ken. Okay? So what I want to do on here is I want to participate. I want to talk to people. So I would say hello from Denver, Colorado. Awesome. Thanks I can spell. Great. Denver. Hello. Oh, hello from Denver. Whatever. So just keep on typing things in. You see, guys and gals, when I'm watching people, when I'm listening to people, I will participate with them. If they give me good tips, I'm giving them hearts. I'm giving them love. I'm giving them feedback. Okay, hearts are feedback. Hearts are love. Okay, so I'm watching people. If someone says something smart, if someone says a great tip or a great nugget, or they look like a cool person that I would like to follow or build a network with, I'll follow them. Campania is one guy I see on here all the time. Okay, so I can go right here. He's following. I'm watching this dude, but I'm now looking at Campania's profile. Click on View Profile. It pulls up this guy. Okay, wow, he's got 1,800 followers. He's got 360,000 hearts. Might be someone I want to follow. Okay, so I'm already following him. Okay, but that's how this works. But you just want to be typing things in. So I don't know what this guy is saying, but I'm going to type in live happy. And so again, you're giving shout outs. So just like I'm talking to certain people, hey, Florida, how are you? You do want to engage with your audience. You do want to engage with your message. And through the process, you'll just get better and better of multitasking. But this is how this works. So giving them hearts, giving them love. Okay, now obviously when the broadcast gets too big, when it gets over 100 to 200, it just depends on the matrix. Basically, that's when it shuts down to broadcast too full. So let's go to somebody else. Okay, let's go to someone that might be a little bit bigger. In this account, again, I don't really follow a lot of people on this account. It's just a test account. But again, we can find people right here, right? So 88 people. We need to find a big one. 26, 72. Okay, here's one. This guy's really cool, actually. He's a musician, or no, a magician. Okay, so this says, it says something. But when it says broadcast too full right here, how you can hack in and how you can start saying something is if you just give them some hearts, come and go. Just keep coming back and forth into that broadcast. Eventually, usually, it'll hack in where you can type something. Okay, does that make sense? So if you're in a big broadcast, if there's 800 people on there or something, it's hard to get into their broadcast, but if you come and go, generally you can hack in and you can say something. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Okay, so for those of you who want to build your brand, for those of you who want to follow other, are trying to build your audience, build your following, what I've done to build my following is I broadcast almost daily, but I'm also watching other people in my downtime, okay? So, it could be late at night, I could be looking at my computer, I could be looking at other things, but if someone pops up, leadership tips or, how to overcome discouragement or how to self-motivate or whatever it is, I'll click on that, okay? If they're good and they're great, I'll share value. If they're really, really successful or if they're in network marketing, whatever, I'll follow them, and then I'll follow other people that are in their scope. I'll build a relationship with them. You see, guys and gals, on this broadcast right now, I guarantee you we have people dialing in from all across the country and all across the world. I've connected with people in Africa, in Berlin, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Norway, in Amsterdam, all over Great Britain, all over the place. Tampa, Ohio, California, that's right. Okay, and so here's a couple other things. When is a good time to broadcast? I don't always know, okay? I haven't really figured that out yet. It can be early in the day is good, late at night is good. And again, you're just going to go through the process. I don't do them too late at night. What's up, Chicago, Brazil? How are you? Can you get it on a computer? You can watch on a computer, but you cannot broadcast on a computer from what I know, okay? It needs to be iOS or Android. What's up, Scottsdale, Vancouver? Vancouver, beautiful area of this country, or of the world. Newcastle, Indiana, awesome. Hello, hello. So you want to build your audience. You want to engage. Here's a few more tips and pointers than I got to run here. But sometimes when I want to engage with the audience, I'll say, hey, guys and gals, are you still with me? Are you still listening? Is there anything else I can answer for you? Are there any questions I can give you or give the answer to? Or I could type in here, hey, for those of you who have never watched me here on Periscope before, type in the comment section, live happy, and I can shout out your name, and welcome you to this Periscope. Okay, so there's a few other ways that you can kind of build traction, but you want to be communicating with people. Great job, Patty Ann, for chatting. If your address always the same as Twitter, not necessarily. It will actually GPS wherever you're periscoping in from. Yes, I'm in Denver, and this is again how you build. Live happy. Hello, what's up, Janice Steele, Roger Sick, Sis, Kim. Yep, Kim. Yeah, and so I clearly am not a great reader in regards to reading this so quickly, but Deja Ruiz, I can read his. Mama Roxy 70, love that name. So guys and gals, you do want to have a nice name that's easy to share. It's easy to write off or read off. That is kind of a tip. You can sometimes change your stuff, I think, on here. Hi, Kim, Kimmy K, how are you? Belinda May, live happy, awesome. GDU, or I don't know, something. Okay, so you just want to engage with people, okay? I'm number 2, what do you do for a living? I'm actually an entrepreneur and in the relationship marketing, network marketing space. I've been full-time with networking for over 3 years now. So literally work from home and get to travel the country and travel the world now with what we do and what we take to the marketplace. So very happy and blessed to be able to do that. You can change your name, I believe, or at least your display name, I think, in the edit section of your profile. Okay, and so that's kind of how you would do that. Tips on how long to broadcast. I don't really know. I think it's more based on, it's not necessarily the time, it's more the value. It's more the content that you're giving. And so I see a lot of people that are just new to Periscope and they are showing, their kids or at the park or this or that. And that's a great place to start. But eventually you're going to need to add content, guys and gals. And so one thing I would share right now is, again, thank you all for being with us here today on Periscope. I know you're using your precious battery life on your phone. I know you're using some of your gigabytes and some of your data plan. And so that's a tip as well. I generally am not on Periscope unless I'm on Wi-Fi. Okay, so Wi-Fi, I can just burn it up, baby. I can be on here all day and night if I wish to. But I generally, when I'm out and about, it is using my data plan. Okay, so be cautious of that. For those of you who are new to Periscope, you are going to burn through your data plan very quickly. I mean, you are live streaming information here, okay? And so a couple quick tips as we close out here. Just have fun on here. If you do have a few people, which they call trolls, I don't really like that name troll. It's kind of a negative connotation to Periscope or whatever. And it just doesn't happen that much. Ladies, you will get more of that. Obviously, you're going to get more of the vulgar language, the swearing, the cussing, people demanding things. And so be cautious of it. What time are you broadcasting? Unfortunately, what are you wearing? You are being watched from people in the Middle East, other countries and continents where culture is different. And sometimes women are very covered up, and here in the States or in Great Britain or other parts of the world, they're a little bit more free and liberal. People are showing a little more skin, okay? And so just be cautious of that. Obviously, if they're annoying, you can block them, and we showed you how to do that. Is there a way to protect your children? I'm not really sure. I don't think so. I don't think there's any settings like that yet. Guys and gals, Periscope is literally 4 or 5 months old, and it is the fastest app to get to 10 million users. It beat Instagram, it beat Snapchat, it beat Facebook. Okay, Patsy, awesome, glad you're on here. Again, if you're if you're working in the beauty space, whatever it is that you're taking to the marketplace, whatever it is that you do, you can show that. If you're an esthetician, you can show some great face tips. How to get ready in the morning in 5 minutes or less. Do some creative things, add value to people, and that's how you're going to build your audience. That's how you're going to engage with your crowd, and that's how you're going to share great feedback. So that is true, Cincinnati dude. The younger demographic is more on Snapchat for sure, but this will grow. There are a couple people on here that are really young. There's a kid named Caleb Maddox. He's probably like 12 or 13. His dad is a motivational speaker, and you can tell. But this kid's on here, and he's like 12 or 13. He's got some pretty good information. He's got some pretty good tips, right? And so there are people on here from all age groups, but it is what it is. So I don't have any children yet, so I don't really know how to answer that for you. But hopefully all these tips have helped here today. Again, guys and gals, for those of you who haven't gotten on Periscope yet, just get in front of the camera. Just get curious. Just get acclimated with it. Just have fun with it. At the end of the name, Caleb Maddox, something like that. Maddix, I think. Or I think it's like the baseball player Maddox, Caleb Maddox. Okay, so just go through the process, have fun with it. Find creative ways to talk. Share what you know. If you are a CPA, talk about tax saving tips. Talk about how to keep your receipts. If you are a stay-at-home mom or dad, share those kids at work, or share those kids. Show them possibly. Show something about that. Should you use your actual name? It just depends how private you want to be. Okay, in my business and my line of work, I brand my name. Okay, my name is very easy to read. It's very simple to remember. It's unique for a guy, and not in Ireland, but over here in the U.S. So I brand my name big, and so everything is my name. You Google my name right now, and you're going to pull up probably a page and a half on Google of all my stuff, from YouTube to Twitter to Facebook to Instagram to all of my stuff. Okay, what's the best way of doing a search? It is by, I'll show you. So by doing a search, right, you want to go down to your little people, 3 little people, right? You're going to go up, actually, hold on, click it again. Sometimes you have to click things twice, right? So this is one of your main screens. Okay, so when you go up here to this little icon, magnifying glass, you can type people in here, okay? So let's just do, for those of you who are in our business, you may know the name Darren Kidd, okay? So if you typed in Darren Kidd, Kift, okay, it pulls him up, right? Okay, and so here's kind of a couple things to do. If you're in Nerium specifically and you want to follow Nerium leaders, you can pull up 1 or 2 people that you may know the name of, and then you can click on their following, okay? And you can pick up everyone. I mean, you could pull up some of the top people right here, just kind of on this process. Okay, so that's one way to do it. If you're big into, who does Darren follow here? Doesn't follow too many people yet, but let's say Bob Proctor, right? Bob Proctor from The Secret. Well, Bob's not following a lot of people, but a lot of people are following Bob. Okay, and if you're in the business of personal development, or you're in personal development yourself, or doing personal development daily, you're going to probably want to attract some of these people. Okay, so these are some of the people that you may want to follow, and hopefully they follow you back. Okay, it's give to get, right? In order to receive, we must first give. We must give value. We must give stuff. Okay, so that's kind of how this works. Okay, so I wanted this broadcast to be nice and short, and it's going longer and longer and longer. So we got to jump off of here. All you really want to, how about searching for a topic? You can do a hashtag, so that same feature, okay, so that same area, just hashtag leadership, hashtag cooking, hashtag motivation, hashtag, direct sales, whatever it is, and that'll pull up, okay? If you're into quilting or whatever that is, you could post that in there. If you're into kickball, softball, you could click that in there, okay? And that should pull that up. Again, that's how you're going to, Twitter owns this, okay? So it's very, very based on hashtags, so you can always hashtag, okay? So that's how you do it. Music, absolutely. If you're playing music, if you're playing instruments, again, just add value to the world, and you will build an audience. If you're creative, if you're a little kooky, if you're good in front of the camera, this can be a great platform for you to build a brand for yourself. And again, just add value to those around you. So I have got to run. I have got to roll. Is there a way to change your username? I thought there was. I think you can if you edit it and just play around back here. Okay, so let me just show this, and I got it. If you go back here again, you go to your profile. Okay, so click on the 3 little dudes. Actually, hit cancel. See, I'm still learning this stuff too. Just play around. Okay, so you're on your 3 little guys, right? Click on this little guy up here is your profile. If you click on edit, this is where you should be able to edit your I am statement, and this is where you should be able to edit your name. Okay, so right there. Now your @ symbol, so like this one's Team Patty McCracken, or @Team Patty McCracken, that is a Twitter account too. Okay, so make it a great rest of your day. Tomorrow we will be talking, I'm not sure what we're going to be talking about tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll be something to build your business. So if you're an entrepreneur, if you're in network marketing, direct sales, relationship marketing, generally my broadcasts are very basic and very generic in regards to it's not team specific or company specific. And so for those of you who may know value, or may know people that would want to have value in that, definitely follow or share, and catch us on the next Periscope, guys and gals. So one final thought for you all here today as we are ending up on a Sunday night is to plan your day before your day begins. Plan your week before your week begins. Just make that simple discipline, guys and gals, of planning your day before it begins. Just think about it this way. Why go to bed at night, especially on a Sunday night, thinking about all this stuff that you have to achieve this next week or on Monday? Write it down on a book so you're not thinking about it all night, so your subconscious mind isn't grinding on it all night. That's why you plan your day before it begins. Put paper to pen to paper, plan your day before it begins so you can get that stuff out of your mind, so you can sleep well, you can dream big, and you can live to have a better day. Okay, so plan your day before it begins. Have a great rest of your week and great rest of your month. We will see you on the next Periscope. So take care, take charge, and bye, everybody. Bye.